Electrician billing rates in the Phoenix area typically range from $50 to $100 per hour for residential work and $75 to $125 per hour for commercial projects. These rates can fluctuate based on factors such as the electrician's experience level, specialized skill sets, and the overall scope and complexity of the project. Work availability in the Phoenix area is generally consistent due to a growing population and continuous construction projects. Opportunities exist in both residential and commercial sectors. These opportunities include new construction, remodeling projects, electrical repairs, and routine maintenance work. Regarding licensing requirements, a journeyman electrician license from the Arizona Registrar of Contractors, or ROC, is generally required for residential electrical work. A contractor's license, specifically a C-46 license from the ROC, is typically required for commercial electrical projects. When it comes to permits, most municipalities in the Phoenix area require electrical permits for electrical work from the local building department. The specific permits needed will vary depending on the scope and nature of the electrical project. In terms of insurance, electricians in Arizona are generally required to carry both liability and workers' compensation insurance. For those interested in apprenticeships, programs are available through local unions and various educational institutions, offering structured training for aspiring electricians. To maintain licenses, electricians are generally required to complete continuing education hours regularly. There are industry associations to consider. The National Electrical Contractors Association, or NECA, and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, or IBU, both have local chapters in Phoenix. These provide networking opportunities, training programs, and general support to electricians in the area. When considering moving an electrical business to the Phoenix area, it's important to consider several factors in addition to billing rates and work availability. Firstly, the cost of living in Phoenix is generally lower than in Wisconsin, which can potentially offset higher operating costs. Secondly, the electrical market in Phoenix is competitive, so a strong business track record, a well-defined marketing strategy, and excellent customer service are essential for success. Thirdly, Phoenix has a favorable business climate, characterized by a strong economy and a supportive local government. Also, it's important to note that Phoenix experiences extreme heat during the summer months, which can significantly affect outdoor work conditions and potentially increase labor costs. To reiterate, regarding residential electrician licensing, it generally requires a journeyman electrician license from the Arizona Registrar of Contractors. For commercial electricians, they generally require a contractor's license, specifically a C-46 from the ROC. Remember that the specific permits required for electrical work will depend on the scope of the project. Factors like the type of electrical work being performed, the location of the work, and the size of the project can all influence the permit requirements. It is always a good idea to consult with the local building department to determine the specific permits that are needed for a project. To elaborate on apprenticeships, these programs typically combine on-the-job training with classroom instruction. Apprentices work under the supervision of experienced electricians and learn the skills and knowledge they need to become licensed electricians. The length of an apprenticeship program can vary, but it typically takes 4 to 5 years to complete. Regarding continuing education, the number of hours required and the specific topics covered may vary depending on the licensing requirements. Courses may cover topics such as the National Electrical Code, or NEC, updates, safety regulations, and new technologies. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a widely adopted standard for safe electrical installation and maintenance. It is important for electricians to stay up to date on the latest version of the NEC to ensure that their work meets the current safety standards. Some specific electrical code sections that electricians should be familiar with include Article 210.12, which covers arc fault circuit interrupter protection, Article 250.50, which covers grounding and bonding, and Article 310.15, which covers conductor ampacity. To elaborate on insurance requirements, liability insurance protects electricians from financial losses resulting from accidents or injuries caused by their work. Workers' compensation insurance covers medical expenses and lost wages for employees who are injured in the job. The specific insurance requirements may vary depending on the size and nature of the electrical business. When considering the cost of living in Phoenix, it is important to factor in expenses such as housing, transportation, food, and utilities. The cost of housing in Phoenix has been increasing in recent years, but it is still generally lower than in many other major cities. Transportation costs can vary depending on whether you rely on public transportation or own a vehicle. Food costs are generally comparable to the national average. Utility costs can be higher in Phoenix due to the extreme heat during the summer months. When assessing the business climate in Phoenix, it is important to consider factors such as the local economy, the regulatory environment, and the availability of skilled labor. Phoenix has a diverse economy with strengths in industries such as healthcare, technology, and tourism. The regulatory environment is generally favorable to businesses, with relatively low taxes and streamlined permitting processes. The availability of skilled labor can be a challenge, as there is high demand for qualified electricians in the area. In summary, when evaluating the move to the Phoenix area, consider these points. Firstly, carefully assess the competitive landscape and develop a strong marketing strategy to attract customers. Secondly, prioritize providing excellent customer service to build a positive reputation and generate repeat business. Thirdly, network with other professionals in the electrical industry to build relationships and generate leads. Fourthly, stay up to date on the latest electrical codes and regulations to ensure that your work meets the required standards. Fifthly, invest in the necessary tools and equipment to provide high-quality electrical services. Sixthly, properly managing finances and maintaining adequate insurance coverage are important for protecting business from potential liabilities. Here is some more information about electrical safety. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take precautions to prevent electrical shocks and other injuries. Always energize electrical circuits before working on them. Use insulated tools and equipment. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as rubber gloves and safety glasses. Never work on electrical equipment in wet or damp conditions. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, hire a licensed electrician. Additional information about the licensing process. To obtain a journeyman electrician license in Arizona, you must typically meet certain requirements, such as completing an apprenticeship program and passing an examination. To obtain a contractor's license, you must typically meet additional requirements, such as having experience as a journeyman electrician and passing a business management examination. The Arizona Registrar of Contractors provides detailed information about the licensing requirements and application process. Additional considerations for operating an electrical business in Phoenix. Consider implementing safety programs to promote a safe work environment for your employees. Provide ongoing training to your employees to keep them up to date in the latest electrical codes and safety practices. Establish clear communication channels with your employees and customers to ensure that everyone is informed about project progress and potential issues. Develop a system for tracking project costs and expenses to ensure that your business is profitable. Consider offering a warranty on your work to provide customers with peace of mind. There is more to consider when moving a business. Moving a business involves a lot more than simply changing the location of operations. It requires careful planning, coordination, and execution to ensure a smooth transition and minimize disruptions. Firstly, develop a detailed relocation plan that outlines all aspects of the move, including timelines, budgets, and responsibilities. Secondly, communicate with your employees, customers, and suppliers about the move to keep them informed and address any concerns. Thirdly, secure the necessary permits and licenses for operating your business in a new location. Fourthly, arrange for the transportation of your equipment, inventory, and other assets to the new location. Fifthly, set up your new office space and ensure that it is functional and meets your business needs. Sixthly, update your website, marketing materials, and other business documents to reflect your new address and contact information. Lastly, notify the relevant government agencies, such as the Internal Revenue Service, of your change of address. Furthermore, consider tax implications. Moving a business can have significant tax implications, so it is important to consult with a tax advisor to understand the potential tax consequences. You may be able to deduct certain moving expenses, such as the cost of transporting your equipment and inventory. You may also be subject to state and local taxes in the new location. There are legal considerations to be made as well. Consult with an attorney to ensure that you are complying with all applicable laws and regulations in the new location. You may need to update your business contracts, insurance policies, and other legal documents. There are financial considerations to be made also. Develop a detailed budget for the move and track your expenses carefully. You may need to secure financing to cover the costs of the move. Be sure to factor in the potential impact of the move on your cash flow and profitability. There are also human resource considerations. Communicate with your employees about the move and address any concerns they may have. You may need to offer relocation assistance to employees who are willing to move with the company. Be sure to comply with all applicable labor laws and regulations. Regarding marketing and public relations, develop a marketing plan to promote your business in the new location. Update your website, social media profiles, and other online listings. Contact local media outlets to announce your arrival in the community. Attend local networking events to meet potential customers and partners. In order to ensure a smooth transition, it's beneficial to have project management in place. Assign a project manager to oversee the move and ensure that all tasks are completed on time and within budget. The project manager should have strong organizational and communication skills. And technology is also important. Plan for the relocation of your technology infrastructure, including your computer systems, phone systems, and internet access. Work with a qualified IT professional to ensure that your technology is set up properly in the new location. Consider also that you will need to manage your supply chain. Coordinate with your suppliers to ensure that they can continue to provide you with the products and services you need in the new location. You may need to find new suppliers in the new location. The relocation of the business requires a comprehensive and carefully executed plan. Don't forget due diligence. Conduct thorough due diligence on the new location to ensure that it is suitable for your business needs. Research the local market conditions, demographics, and competition. Inspect the property to ensure that it is in good condition and meets your requirements. Review the lease agreement carefully before signing it. Also think about risk management. Identify and assess the potential risks associated with the move. Develop a plan to mitigate those risks. Obtain adequate insurance coverage to protect your business from potential losses. If you are considering purchasing a property in Phoenix, there are several factors to consider. Firstly, research the local market conditions to determine the fair market value of the property. Secondly, inspect the property carefully to identify any potential problems, such as structural issues, roof leaks, or plumbing problems. Thirdly, obtain a professional appraisal of the property to confirm its value. Fourthly, review the title report to ensure that there are no liens or other encumbrances in the property. Fifthly, negotiate the purchase price and terms of the sale with the seller. Lastly, obtain financing from a reputable lender. There is more about electrical codes to be mentioned. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive set of standards for safe electrical installation and maintenance. It is important for electricians to be familiar with the NEC and to follow its guidelines when performing electrical work. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay up to date on the latest version. Some of the key topics covered in the NEC include wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding and bonding, and equipment installation. More information on safety. Electrical safety is paramount when working with electricity. It is important to take precautions to prevent electrical shocks and other injuries. Always energize electrical circuits before working on them. Use insulated tools and equipment. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment. Never work on electrical equipment in wet or damp conditions. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, hire a licensed electrician. Make sure to disconnect power before performing electrical work. Using lockout-tagout procedures is a way to ensure equipment is properly isolated. Lockout-tagout involves applying a physical lock to the energy isolating device so it cannot be unintentionally operated. A tag is also attached to the device with a warning not to operate it. This procedure helps prevent accidental energization of equipment during maintenance or repair. Also, consider using ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in areas where there is a risk of electric shock, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor locations. GFCIs are designed to detect ground faults, which can occur when electricity flows through an unintended path to ground. When a ground fault is detected, the GFCI will quickly trip the circuit, cutting off the flow of electricity and preventing electric shock. Remember to regularly inspect electrical cords and equipment for damage. Damaged cords and equipment can pose a serious electrical hazard. Replace any cords or equipment that are frayed, cracked, or otherwise damaged. Do not overload electrical circuits. Overloading a circuit can cause the wires to overheat and potentially start a fire. Avoid plugging too many appliances or devices into a single outlet or extension cord. Use surge protectors to protect electronic equipment from power surges. Power surges can damage sensitive electronic equipment such as computers, televisions, and stereos. Surge protectors are designed to absorb excess voltage and prevent it from reaching the equipment. Also, keep electrical panels clear and accessible. Electrical panels should be kept clear of obstructions so that they can be easily accessed in case of an emergency. Do not store anything in front of or around electrical panels. Consider arc flash protection. Arc flash is a dangerous electrical hazard that can occur when there is a short circuit in an electrical system. Arc flash can cause serious burns, blindness, and even death. Electricians should wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as arc-rated clothing and face shields, when working on energized electrical equipment. There is more information on grounding and bonding. Grounding and bonding are essential for electrical safety. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse and prevent electrical shock. Bonding connects all metal parts of an electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault current. Another thing to consider is electrical inspections. Electrical inspections are an important part of ensuring electrical safety. Many municipalities require electrical inspections for new construction, renovations, and other types of electrical work. The electrical inspectors will check to make sure that the electrical work complies with the National Electrical Code and other applicable regulations.